Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're going to speak about Sambandha. Sambandha means relationship. The idea is we want to establish our relationship with Krishna. So in deity worship, this is a very good opportunity. Not only to establish a relationship with Krishna, but also for others in temple where we have deities. Then others can also come, they can see Krishna, they can make some offerings to Krishna. And so everybody can establish relationship with Krishna. So this principle, Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojana, we explained a little bit before. You can remember? It means like you want to achieve something. So Bhaktivatsala, he wants to hear the speaker presenting this the subject. He wants to get it on a tape so he can hear it another time, or present to his newspaper an article on it. So he has to have the tape recorder, otherwise he won't remember everything in the conversation. So first you find out, if someone tells you if you get a tape recorder, then you can record it. Then you won't have to remember it or write everything down quickly. So he says, okay, so then he makes a relationship with the tape recorder. He goes and he purchases a tape recorder. He makes a relationship with the tape recorder. And so that's Sambandha. First, the relationship with the tape recorder. And then he says, well, how does it work? What do you do? And so, you have to put a battery in it. And then you put it near the speaker's mouth. And when he speaks, it picks up the sound, and then you get it recorded. Oh, that's the process, is it? Okay. So then he does that, and he comes up. So now he's doing the process. This is the Abhidheya. So we get Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojana. So first he makes Sambandha, is a connection, a relationship. Then he actually puts it into practice, the Abhidheya. And then after that, when the speaker's finished speaking, then he has the recording here. This is what he wanted. So this is the result, the Prayojana. So he has a result. So in all activities, you will find these three principles are there. And this is all that the Veda is speaking about. Factually, or the essence of the Vedas. Because the Vedas are dealing with so many material subjects, how to live in this material world, how to have a relationship with the material world, how to act in the material world, and how to get a result from the material world. They have a relationship with the Shastra, and it says, if you want this, you worship this demigod. Oh, okay. So this is how you get it. So you have a desire. Someone says, well, if you worship this particular demigod, you can get that. Oh. So you look it up in the Shastra. So he goes and he gets some Purana or something, the Devi Purana. Because if you worship on Durga Puja in a few days, you'll definitely get your result. So he goes and gets the Devi Purana or something, and he reads, or he makes a relationship with the with the Veda, with the information. It says, yes, if you worship Devi with this and some coconuts and some, yes, you'll definitely get this result. So it's okay. So then he goes out and buys his coconuts. Then he goes and he offers it to Durga Devi. He puts it into practice. First he gets a relationship with what to do. Then he goes out and he puts it into practice and he makes the offering to Durga Devi. And then after that, she gives the result. She gives the prayojana. He gets his desired, whatever he desired from the demigod. So anything you do, you'll see those are there. These three aspects are there. In the morning you wake up and there's not such a good taste. You say, well, how can I get rid of this taste? Oh, you can use a toothbrush. Oh, really? What's a toothbrush? Yeah. So you learn about it. Then you go and buy a toothbrush and some toothpaste. And then what do you do with it? Oh, you have to rub your teeth with it. Okay. So first you make a relationship with your toothbrush and then you put it into practice, the abhidaya, and you clean your teeth. And then you get the result. You get a nice fresh mouth. So every little thing you're doing, it has these three principles. But the main principles Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pointing out is that the whole of the Vedas are coming to this point, is that real sambandha connection is connection with Krishna. And the abhidaya, the process that you will apply it towards Krishna, is devotional service, because this is the only thing that attracts Krishna. And you are the eternal servant of Krishna, so it's an eternal function of the soul. So the process is devotional service. And when you render devotional service to Krishna favorably, you get the result, which is love of Krishna. So this is the final goal of life. Prem Pumata, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, to love Krishna. So this is how you get the final goal of life. The Vedas will tell you so many goals you can achieve, but what is the ultimate goal, the eternal goal, the most favorable goal to the soul and to Krishna, is to engage in, develop your love for Krishna and engage in a loving relationship with Krishna. So, although millions of things are mentioned in the Vedas, different types of activities, different types of results, etc., the essence of it all, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and others, it means basically it's to know Krishna, Sambandha, to serve Krishna, abhidaya, and to love Krishna, prayojana. This is actually what has to be sought out in the Vedas and the Upanishads. They're always saying this has to be sought out. Krishna says you have to seek out that place you go to where you never return. You have to seek. This is the essence what you're seeking in the Vedas, that eternal platform. And on that platform is devotional service, and then you'll get the final result of love of Krishna. So then these principles were applied in everything. Just like here, you're all students, you come, you want to make a relationship with the process of deity worship. You're hearing what is the goal of life. So deity worship is a very nice way to establish your relationship with Krishna. So you come here, you make a relationship with the teachers, and then you're hearing everything. A little bit of practice also. Then when you think you're competent, so that's sambandha, you've established relation. Now when you think you're competent, when Shamastri gives you your degree, you get one in this course, but you get diploma, certificate. You get a certificate at least. Okay. So then you put it into practice. Abhidaya. You have your deities at home or the temple deities. So first you made the relationship in the class. Then when you're competent, you go and you put it into practice. Then you actually serve the deities in the temple or in your house. And then you get the result, the prayojana, which is love of Krishna.
Lovely Krishna. Lovely looking Krishna.
Love of Krishna. Is that okay?
No, worship the deity.
No, the actual result here the result will be Sambandha. From another angle of vision, see. Real Sambandha will begin. Because here we're teaching Panchvachiki Vidhi. So these are the rules and regulations. For establishing our relationship with Krishna. So the prayojana, or the goal of deity worship, is actually to understand how the deity is situated. You can feel the presence of the deity in your own heart and in the hearts of others also. This is Kapila Muni says in Srimad Bhagavatam, one should worship the deity until that time that he feels the presence of the Lord in his heart and in the hearts of others. So again, this is actually Sambandha, because now you've made a relationship with Krishna. Through deity worship, you've actually perceived the presence of the Lord in your heart, and so that's actually Sambandha. Now you've connected to Krishna in reality. You're feeling his presence. So then it says, Krishna Das Kaviraj says, oh, now actually the service will really begin. Now the Abhidheya will really begin. Because now in our service, we're awakened, we're feeling the presence of the Lord. So everything becomes enlivened. So he said, now at this point, when you're actually feeling the presence of the Lord in your heart, it's a platform of self-realization. Now, he said, now at this point, now the hearing will really begin. Now the chanting will really begin. Because it's coming from the heart. It's coming with feeling. We're feeling the presence of the Lord. So everything now has feeling. So he said, this is when devotional service really starts. So this is Abhidheya in a realized state. So the Sambandha, or realizing the presence of the Lord in your heart and in the heart of others, this is the goal of the Gyanis. This is what they want. They just want to feel the presence of the Lord. And then identify themselves with the presence in oneness. But no, for the devotees, that's just the beginning of spiritual life. For the Gyanis, the Muktas, it's the end. That's their actual goal. But for the devotees, no. Krishna Das Kaviraj, no, that's the beginning. Now service really begins, because it's being done with it feeling, it's being done with real emotion. It's coming from the self. So then when that devotional service becomes mature, because you had that connection with Krishna, then Krishna becomes very much attracted because of the emotion, the devotion. Then actually you realize the goal, love of God, it comes about. So it's, but in any sense you see that these three aspects of Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojana are within every activity. And but the real Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojana, which has to be sought out by the intelligent person, is his relationship with Krishna, his service to Krishna, and his eternal love for Krishna. So deity worship is a wonderful process to bring us to that purified stage. It's especially helpful for purification, which we find is emphasized again and again and again in our acts of sadhana. All the rituals, it's all about purification. So deity worship is very, very helpful for this. For purifying one's existence. So there's Pankajangri with, it's an analogy or it's a... It's an analogy.
Analogy.
Analogy. Oh, it's here. Oh, okay. So there's a very nice drawing here. So Pankajangri Prabhu will explain the aeroplane ride from Sambandha to over there.
This is you and me. No clip to this? Is it all right there? Here, this is where we are, and this is, what is this place? Mayapur, Jai. Already here. Before we came, we were here, all right? Where's here? Switzerland. Switzerland. Yeah, all of those places. They're all here. It's a material world. So we want to get to here. So what's let's go immediately. Let's be there. Why can't we just be there? Right? So what's stopping us from just being there? Huh? What's stopping us? Huh? Oh, what's stopping you get from A to B? Distance. Space. Something else? What do you need to cross over space? Time. Time and space. There's a difference. There's time and space. So, depending on the time or the space, they can be correlated. You can use them in the same way, time or space. You can say, how long does it take to go to? Where's the temple? You can either say, oh, the temple is. You just go out and follow that path straight down. It's 2 minutes. Or you can say it's 200 yards away. Right? You can use time or you can use measurement. It's the same thing. It's either 2 minutes or 200 yards. It means the same thing. So now, okay, so we've resolved we're going to go there. So what is the best? We want to get there as quickly as possible, yeah? Mayapur festival's coming up. So what's the best way to? What is the best way to go? Right, here it is. Okay, now we could go other ways, but this is a better way, right? Because there's an ocean here, and there's mountains there. The Alps are in the way, and the Himalayas if you're from China. So, okay, we decided the plane is the best way, but have we got the money for a plane ticket? We have enough money? Huh? Some of you. So then you'll have to reconsider. You have to go. There's another way you can go. How can you go? By walk? You can walk so far, but when you come to the ocean and the Himalayas, it's going to be pretty tough. You could go by boat, I guess, most of the way. You could go by bus and by train. We came, Jananivas, when we left from Europe, we got a boat across the channel, the English Channel, and then we hitchhiked, or we got train or bus or anything, or we walked, and we came to India. We had to where you can't walk on the water. We didn't have those cities at that particular time, so we had to get a boat. But it took I mean, we didn't come quick. We wasn't in a hurry because we didn't know Mayapur was here then. before we were devotees. So anyway, it took a long time, but that's not the best way. So what do these represent? What do they look like? Obstacles. Obstacles. What do we call obstacles? What do we call obstacles in our devotional terminology? Anatta, yeah. So what do these obstacles consist of for us? We want to love Krishna. So what is stopping us from loving Krishna? What? Huh? Material desires, yeah. Material desires. Pointed, sharp. So these are the anarthas. These are considered all the anarthas. So according to how much money we have, what does our money represent? Huh? Sorry? Pious activities, yeah, good. Huh? Karma? Huh? Faith? Yeah. Yeah. What are these? Together, all these good qualities are called? If someone... Huh? Adhika, yes. Adhika. But if you have the adhika, then it's very quick. It means if you perform devotional service in previous lifetimes, you can have a much easier transition than someone like me. So this is if you got the adhika, if you got the money, then it's very easy. It's very easy if you have the adhika. But if you don't have the adhika, then you got to go the best. Whatever adhika you have to go like that. You can go by boat, you can go by train, you can go by bus, or you can go by rickshaw if you're from South America. Huh? Long pedal. It's right on the other side of the world. Right opposite Mayapur is South America. So, but you may have no other choice. You may just have to start heading out walking. If you're determined. But you got to. That's how it is. You know, if we don't have the adhika, we got to start from wherever we are. We have to start from there. Whatever assets we have, we use that. But everyone has different level of assets. So we have to understand where we are now. Huh? So this is called the Sambandha, and that means a distance, and the distance from Krishna. Then the Abhideya, the qualifications that we have to actually get us there quickly to actually reach the Mayapur Dham. Okay, this is explained in this drawing. Any questions? Let's just give another practical example like John has been given. Everyone's different.
Somebody can't decide to go to Mayapur, but if they can't, they don't have money, they can't take their money.
Should I hold it?
They can't, they are struggling. I could.
Then you go around begging, or you just start walking. You got to be determined. You want to get there. So if you don't have anything, you can't give up. You shouldn't give up, because you have faith that that's the place to be. So somehow or other you're going to get there. If you have adhika, your transition will be smooth. If you have enough from your previous birth, if you have enough sukriti, then your transition will be smooth. If not, you're going to have a rough journey. But you've got to take the journey, otherwise you stay in the material world. Understand? Whatever you have, with that you have to work with that. You pray for mercy, you pray for help, but until it comes, you just have to push on. This is called sadhana bhakti. We're hoping against hope for kripa siddha, but we act for sadhana siddha. That's all we can do. Because the Kripa Siddha means something that is, somebody's going to give you. Something you can't demand. Even if it's your birthday, and I've got me a present behind my back, you can't say, that must be my present you got behind me, give it to me. You can't say that, right? You've got to wait till I give it to you, even if you know it's your birthday present. So that's, Kripa's like that. Mercy is like that. We can hope for it, we can pray for it, we can cry for it, but when it comes, when he wants to give, he gives. Yeah, we have no control over that. So in the meantime, till that comes, while we're waiting for that, this is Damodar's rope coming up next, very soon. Always 2 fingers too short. The rope is always 2 fingers too short. So that 2 fingers represents the endeavor of the devotee, Mother Yasoda. She tried so many ways, getting so many ropes. All the boys were coming, giving ropes to Kawa. She was tying too short. Everyone was laughing at her. She was perspiring. She was struggling so hard. Then, so Krishna said, "Oh, look, my mother's working so hard. She's sweating. Perspiration is coming. Okay, let her tie." Then Radharani comes and takes a braid from her hair and gives it, and just enough. So that's the mercy. So the 2 things: the endeavor. Mother Yasoda was endeavoring like anything, and then but when Krishna desired, let it be, because of her sincere endeavor, then she could do it. Okay.
Hare Krishna. So, in deity worship, we can see we can apply these 3 principles. It's practical. Because it's a relationship with Krishna, service to Krishna, and the result. Well, here we have Krishna directly in his deity form. So these 3 principles can be directly applied in deity worship, because we are actually dealing with Krishna directly in his Archavigraha form. So, Sambandha, to know Krishna, we have to understand the actual position of Krishna. So, what is Krishna's position?
Just to really clear expressed what are their feelings of what Krishna means for them now.
Okay.
Because we spoke about that, and in theory we heard Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his eternal servant. But we wish to express now how do we really see Krishna, what does Krishna means to us. So then the answers are, my dear sweet Lord, he is our shelter in all respects, protector, and his eternal servant, my protector, my eternal spiritual Father, he who I seek after most, only shelter, guru and friend, my real friend, my mother, well-wisher, Father and Creator, satisfaction. And
What?
Satisfaction. And someone said, Krishna is like big brother to me. My dearest friend, Parameshwar Bhagavan is everything and everyone's.
He's on?
Everything and everyone's.
Everything and everyone without us. Oh God. Krishna is king of my life and looks up, and I look up to him and respect him. These are some of that. Krishna is everything to me.
Hare Krishna. Well, very advanced realizations there of relationship with Krishna. So Krishna is also the supplier of all necessities of life. To live, you have to breathe, you have to eat, you have to drink. So who's supplying all those? So he's the maintainer. We have to admit that he's maintaining us. But Krishna is, his actual position is that he's the supreme enjoyer. That's his position. Before anything else, he's the enjoyer. To enjoy, he expands. So that means before he expanded, there was nothing to maintain. There was no one to have a friendship with. There was no one to be a brother with. Because nothing was existing. But he when he desired to enjoy, then it all happened. Then he manifested everything. Then relationships can happen. So Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. We're trying to understand Krishna now. He's our maintainer of everything. He's the enjoyer. First, he's the enjoyer. He's maintaining everything. And what is the position of the jiva in relation to Krishna? It means now, in a conditioned state and in a liberated state. What will be your relationship with Krishna? Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. What is the jiva's relationship with Krishna? Yes. 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 Very good. Can you give another word? In relation to Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So what is in relation to Krishna, are we? Yes. We are the enjoyed. So Krishna is the enjoyer and we are the enjoyed. So we are not the enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer. So we find in this material world, actually, we want to be the enjoyer. So we want to take Krishna's position. So our real position is that, no, we want to be enjoyed by Krishna. He is the enjoyer and we want to be enjoyed. So in this way we're going to establish a relationship with Krishna. We won't never establish a relationship with Krishna if we approach Krishna as the enjoyer, because that's his position. So understanding Krishna's position, how do we act in relation to Krishna? We have Krishna here in his Ultra Vigraha form. He's very mercifully come. He's none different than Krishna. So now Krishna has come. How we should relate to him? What is the attitude we relate to him?
By serving him.
By serving him, yes. More attitudes. By chanting his holy name? Yes?
Why you chant his names? Why you chant his names?
Why?
Yeah.
Because he's in the way we have to remember him. Or he's coming in our mind or
No, he's already here in the deity form. You don't have to remember him, you can see him in front of you. You got the deity. So in relation to the deity. He's already there. So why you are chanting before him?
doing all arrangements for service to the Lord.
Yes, for his pleasure. So he's here, so he's the enjoyer, so let's make him enjoy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu likes us to chant Hare Krishna. That's his supreme pleasure. If everybody chants Hare Krishna, that's why he came, to get everyone to chant Hare Krishna, then he'll be very happy. So that is our perfection. More on attitudes. What kind of servant? Eternal servant. Attitude? Yes. Yeah, yes. That's very good. Humble servant. Humble servant. We're trying to bring out attitudes. We're trying to express a relationship with Krishna. He's my master and servant, but better, I'm approaching him humbly, a humble servant. That's expressing my relationship. That's going to please Krishna more. Two people are approaching him. I'm your servant, Krishna. And another one's coming. I'm your humble servant, your servant, Krishna. Which one is Krishna more pleased with? Yeah, so we can bring out that sentiment. We can be a servant. We are a servant of Krishna. But then we can express being a humble servant. We can take it a step further. I'm appear before the deity like that. Then that's pleasing him. So if we can develop these attitudes towards Krishna, this pleases him. So this will lead to sambandha. This will lead to establishing a relationship to Krishna. So if we're not engaged in deity worship, if we're not directly, Krishna is not there, we're not directly engaged, how we can establish a relationship with Krishna? By serving him. You have to have a relationship. We're talking about sambandha. We're making a relationship with Krishna. So which Krishna are you serving? How you are serving? Following sadhana? Following sadhana. So how is that establishing a relationship with Krishna? How do you see him?
Through the mercy of the spiritual master, we can approach Krishna through the spiritual master.
Yeah, but what Krishna are we approaching? Who?
Vasudeva Krishna, like we were speaking about yesterday, we have to approach him in the mood of awe and reverence, but at the same time worship him as Krishna and Lord.
We're speaking to the deity form. That example was with the deity. But now we're saying, the deity is not there, but still we're devotees performing devotional service. How are we going to establish relationship with Krishna? Holy name. Who said? Yes. Very good. Here, this relationship, actually Krishna comes to us in the holy name. He's come to us. Of course, we got to chant Hare Krishna, but one who does chant Hare Krishna, then the holy name comes looking for him. Not he chants Hare Krishna, but he chants the names of Gaunitai. The devotee who chants the names of Gaunitai, then Hare Krishna will come looking for that person. Yeah, so otherwise we're chanting Hare Krishna, he's coming as the Yuga avatar, Namavatara. So he's making himself available. So we can make connection with Krishna. Sambandha can be with his holy name. But again, that means giving up all offenses to the holy name. before we can get pure name, because Krishna is in the pure name. So any other way of approaching Krishna? Srinatna? Okay. Yeah, by hearing. He is non different than his name. But these methods, hearing, then you will understand that his name is non different than himself. So he will be present. So these are all means of, you have to be purified to understand the Lord is in his holy name. He is present. He's in the sound vibration. So if you're pure, that's good. But with other ways of, when we're in a conditioned state now, how can we see Krishna? By association with devotees, that's a process. But do you see Krishna immediately when you're...
Well, if you're around people who are that way inclined, then you'll be more likely to.
Okay. No, we have to hear from the sadhu sangha is very important. And follow the advice of the sadhu. Yes. By serving the spiritual master, yes. We're doing the process of Krishna consciousness. But that's going to... that's helpful for serving Krishna. Studying Bhagavatam. You see Krishna there? Yeah? No, we're talking about how else can we see Krishna? How can we relate to him? We're talking about Sambandha. He's there in the holy name, he's there in the Bhagavatam. But are we actually realizing him? We are seeing him there. Huh? Vaishnava Seva. Can you see Krishna there? We're talking about relationship with Krishna. Huh? So I'm talking about when the deity is not there. It's difficult. So what is the answer? Can you see Krishna when you do that? How do you see Krishna?
You can see Krishna in the heart whenever you know.
Oh, you can?
Well, we can meditate. But, kind of meditate, Krishna in the heart.
Yes. Yeah, but now we're talking about the conditioned state of existence, not the purified. Yeah. Yes. So can you see him then? Okay. Can you see him? Have you surrendered to him? So what can we see in this material world? What do you see? What is this body? What is the body made of? Material body. Elements? What? Air? There, you can see these elements. Earth, water, fire, that you can see. So whose elements are they? They're material elements. Yes, that's also part of it. Whose elements are they? Krishna's. Oh, they're Krishna's elements. Okay. So it's Krishna's energy. So it's all energy of the Lord. So you can see that. Is the energy connected or disconnected from Krishna? It's connected. Is it different or non-different than Krishna? It's not also non-different than Krishna. How can, it's an emanation from him. Just like milk is the energy of the cow. So Krishna is Krishna's energy. He creates it. So you can see the creation. Yes? You can see there's a brick wall there. It's Krishna's energy, yes? So then it's not separated from Krishna. So we can see it as Krishna's energy. Then we can remember Krishna, the source of this. So that will help you to remember Krishna. He is the Lord to whom everything is connected. Okay? You see the energy of the Lord, and you understand this is connected to Krishna. Or Sambandha. You're making a relationship with Krishna's energy. That we can do, because we're in the material world. So then you can remember Krishna, who's the source of all the energy. Which Krishna? Next question is, which Krishna? Okay, everybody's agreeing that this energy is Krishna's energy. The material energy is Krishna's energy. It's not separated. So we're remembering Krishna. Which Krishna? Huh? Parameshwar Bhagavan. Which Krishna? Huh? Vishwarup. Vishwarup. Madhav. Which Krishna do you love? Which Krishna do you love? Huh? You don't know which Krishna you love? Madhav. Okay. So now it's coming down to a personal God. It's not a vague or a universal form or the supreme controller. So when you see the energy, you can see the person you love, whom it's connected to. So in this way you can have a connection with Krishna. Then further than that, how kind my Lord is. He's given us this energy. If we didn't have this brick wall, we wouldn't have a classroom. We'd be sitting out in the fields and all the jackals would be walking around, the mosquitoes would be biting us. No, Krishna's good. Whatever we see, we can relate it to Krishna and think, oh, how kind my Krishna is. But we relate it to that person who we think is our lovable object, or we have accepted as our lovable object. So it brings it down to a much more personal level. Because everybody says, yes, it's God's energy, but which God? Which God are you supposed to be thinking of? We're supposed to be developing a loving relationship with God. How can you develop a loving relationship with Vishwarup? Prabhupada said, he's so big, how can you bathe and dress him, the Vishwarup? He said, but the Archer Vigraha, he's very small, you can bathe him. They're both Krishna. So here you can establish a relationship with Krishna, but you can't really establish a relationship with Vishwarup or the Parameshwari or the Supreme Controller. So what's the next thing? Okay, we've got Sambandha. We're seeing the energy of the Lord everywhere we look, and we're connected to our worshipful, lovable Lord. So we can see our lovable Lord everywhere. Now what's the next step? Once you understand everything is connected to your Lord, it's coming from Him, what's the next step?
You use everything in service of the Lord.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Next thing is, how can I serve you? How can I serve you is what? Sambandha, Abhideya or Prayojana? Abhideya. So, yes. So first we making a connection with the Lord, Sambandha, by seeing Him everywhere. The next thing is, how can I serve you, Krishna? Krishna is so kind. He's given us all this facility we can use. He's given the sun in the morning, we can see everything. He's making everything warm. He's giving the rain, making everything. Krishna is so kind. He's supplying everything because this is what we're dealing with, nothing but Krishna. So the next thing is, how can I serve you, Krishna? So then it becomes Abhideya. So then that's helping us to become more advanced. Because that will develop into love. That service and the service attitude, the attitude behind the service, that is what Krishna is going to notice, and that will actually develop into love. Then you'll have the completion of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Hare Krishna. Any question? Comment?
Question to the audience, students. Who wants Krishna as a mother? How can you have Krishna as a mother? Is my question. You mentioned someone said Krishna is my mother? You don't have to mention her name.
No, you can mention No, it's also, you can also accept Krishna as your mother. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, there's a song that goes, He's my everything. He has to be everything. He's everything to me. Radharani is the Supreme Mother of the, and she's none different than Krishna. They are one. Any other point, comment? So anyway, here, when we have a deity, then we can actually, directly we can relate to the deity. When seeing Krishna everywhere, we can relate it to our lovable object. So generally the devotees, you see, they have a lovable deity. He'll be Radharaman or Radhisham Chanda or Radhamadav or Jagannath. Generally the devotees, they have a particular Lord they keep in their heart. They really like this. This is their favorite Lord. In the form of the Archa Vigraha. We may not see Krishna directly before us, but we have a deity form that we keep special. We have a kind of a special relationship. So when we see the energy, then we can relate it to our Lord. Or it may be the deity we are serving. We have our own relationship with a particular deity we are serving. So then you see everything related to Him. Then in the 11th canto, I think Krishna was teaching Uddhava. He said that the pujari, he should actually see his deity before him at all times. He should see his deity to the left side of him at all times. He should see his deity to the right side at all times. He should see the deity behind him at all times. He should see the deity above at all times. He should see the deity everywhere and everywhere. He should see his deity at all times. So that you can develop with the deity. You have a deity and you can establish a relationship. Then you can learn to see him actually everywhere, because he is, the Archa Vigraha is none different than the personality, original personality of Godhead. We cannot make a distinction between Krishna in his Archa Vigraha form and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his Archa Avatar. So when we see the energy, it's Krishna's energy, it's Mahaprabhu's energy, whoever our Lord is. So then we're learning to see our Lord everywhere.
Is that service to Krishna and deity worship limited just to doing service to the deities personally, or is there some other way, because there are so many devotees here go before the deity worship is, but not many devotees can do direct service? Does it mean they are completely bereft of developing relationship?
No. The question was opened like that. The discussion was opened like that. What about those who are not directly doing deity worship? So then you may not be doing the deity worship, but you have some deity that you keep in your heart, that you like best of all, in ISKCON, or outside of ISKCON. Everybody loves Radha Raman, right? Radhisham, Radha Madhav. These are some favorites. Oh, Mahaprabhu. Who? Balaji. Yeah, very, very popular in South India. So everybody has a particular, more affection for one. So that you will see in his energy. You'll see the energy of the Lord, and you'll remember it's the energy of the Lord. Then that will cause you, because all the rules and regulations are to bring you to the point of always remembering Krishna. So you can see the energy, anywhere you look, you see Krishna's energy. So, it's my Lord's energy. So then you can remember the Lord. Then how kind he is, he's given the energy we can use. So there's some feeling is developing, affection, or you're speaking nice words, glorifying the Lord. And then obviously the next thing is, how can I serve you, Krishna? How can I use this? Everything in your service. So you're not directly engaged in the deity worship, but you see him everywhere. But you will choose a deity. That's also mentioned in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. You should choose a deity and let him become your Ishtadeva, some form of Krishna. Can
we have more than one Ishtadeva? Or it should be just one fixed?
No, generally you will have one, at least a little bit more. You prefer one, just even it's a little bit more. But then you understand that they're all the same personality. Oh, here is my Lord. You can remember, here he is. You can see such beautiful deity like Radha Raman. But you say, here is Radha Raman. This is my, if my Lord is, I'm always thinking of Madhava, then wherever I go, I see Madhava. Here's Madhava appearing as Radha Raman. Here's Madhava appearing as Shyamachandra. Further than that, here is Madhava appearing as Lord Nrsimhadev. Further than that, here is Madhava appearing as Durga, as Lord Shiva. Here is Radharani appearing as Durga. Because these are nothing but transformations of Radha and Krishna. There's nothing in existence but Radha and Krishna. So then you can see a worshipful Lord in everyone. The Durga is a reflection of Radharani into this material world. Shiva is a reflection of Krishna in this material world. So Parvati and Shiva, that's Radha and Krishna. But this is how they deal with, the form they deal with the material world. So they've accepted the form of Shiva and Parvati to touch the material world. Because Radha and Krishna, they don't touch the material world. They touch the spiritual world. So to deal with the material energy, then Krishna transforms himself into Shiva. Just like the milk becomes yogurt. So then he can touch material energy. Radharani transforms herself into Durga, then she also conducts the material energy. So then you see, here's my worship of Radha and Madhava. They're appearing in these forms of Durga and Shiva. So you're seeing the demigods in the temple, but actually you can see your worshipful Lord everywhere, in every form. Not Mayavad. Again, the affection is, how kind. Radharani and Krishna have come in the form of Shiva and Parvati. Durga Devi, she's creating all these facilities for us, all the whole material universe. It's for our pleasure to use in Krishna's service. So you can always have, even you're seeing a demigod, but you can have a loving feeling towards them. How kind my lords are, Radha and Madhavan, appearing in this form. They're supplying all the living entities their food every day, their light, their water. Oh, they're so kind. So these sentiments can come. Related to your deity, but seeing material deities like Durga and Shiva. Yeah.
How can we choose to do to be in our conditioned stage? Because normally we get guided by what we think is beautiful. And, like we read stories of devotees having special, like how to sit down and things that he was attached to. And, every acharya who has a deity. But when you look at externally speaking, some of them don't look, I hope it's not offensive, because it's not, spiritually, we can't see it spiritually, right? So we see it materially, and it's like this. So if we start choosing deities like this, we'll like Sham Sundar, because they're so beautiful, nice and painted, beautiful shape, and all that, right? But whereas if we choose a deity because we serve that deity, and then we don't get high realizations or anything like that, but there's some reciprocation, some attachment to us, to relationship, to a certain point. But if we just go around just choosing deities like this, is that really, or is that okay? Just go with these.
No, because that's what we're dealing with. We've got material nature, we've got materialized, and Krishna's appeared in a form that we can perceive. He's appearing in material elements we can perceive with our material life. That's Krishna's kindness.
Well, we may see Radha Krishna that's not nice and calm, and Radha Krishna that's nice and calm, and like this.
Yes, that's okay. Because that's what we're dealing with. That's our conditioned nature. But still, we're using it in Krishna's service. We are making a choice, a distinction. So there is some preference according to our nature. I like one, you like another, because we're all different. So that's good.
And even if you may think it's not so nicely carved, but someone who's lived with that deity, grown up with that deity, they're very attached to that deity, and they prefer that to the very exquisitely carved one. Yeah, it's the relationship. You see, you become attached. Attachment means relationship. So then they don't. They see, they don't see like that. They're just attached to that deity. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Because sometimes I've heard stories of devotees painting deities and the deities change and the people will freak out. What did you do? What did you do? But it's the same deity. So this means we're perceiving from a material way, or I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what we're dealing with. Well, you get some deities, Radha Govinda, or even Radhaman, he's got these funky conch shell eyes. They're not really, you wouldn't say they're kind of human-like shape, because they're kind of... But you go there, suddenly, generally something happens when you go and see these, and something happens within, and you just get attached to them. And you don't see the kind of funny shaped eyes, you just, oh, it's so beautiful. And Radhaman's got conch shell eyes, and they kind of stick out like that. They're not really, not like now the Russian artists, they're painting these really fancy, beautiful eyes. But they're so attractive in their own. So generally it's a feeling that you get, it's actually Krishna's mercy, that you go before a deity and sometimes you just feel something. And everybody gets that experience sometime or another, with some deity or another. They'll get a feeling. And it'll create an attachment. They will they'll have a natural affection for that deity. They'll always have that.
It just seems easier to be attached to the deity if you hear about them, or if you serve them. It feels like it's more, it seems like the attachment will be deeper in those levels than just thinking I'm wrong.
No, it's a natural thing, you will. We want to be loved, and we want to love. This is the nature of the living entity. So we'll find it in the material world, because this is what we're dealing with, the condition. But that feeling of I want to love and be loved, it's an eternal feeling because it's with Krishna. So we'll see it somewhere in the material world. If we don't see it with Krishna, we see it with someone else, an ordinary person. So we're learning how to see it with Krishna. But this is Krishna's kindness. Prabhupada was giving a class once here in Mayapur, and he's talking about the deity, and he said, here you have Radha Madhava. He said that they're made of brass. He said, but you can't see Krishna with your present eyes, because your eyes are not spiritual. He said, so Krishna so kindly manifested himself in a form you can see. He said you can't see Krishna because he's spirit, but you can see brass, you can see wood, you can see metal, you can see... And so Krishna's manifested in a form that you can perceive with your senses. He said this is Krishna's kindness. He said, but we shouldn't think the deity is made of brass or wood or stone or anything. It's Krishna's kindness that he's manifested a form that you can see with your material senses. And then Prabhupada said, and even if he is brass, he is still Krishna. He said, because brass is also Krishna's energy and it's connected to him, it's non-different from him. So even philosophically he said, it is Krishna. So like that, it's just an act, the deity, the Archer avatar is just simply an act of mercy of Krishna. Prabhupada said, he's so merciful to come in a form that you can actually see, you can touch, you can serve. And he's identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we can deal with him in our present materially contaminated senses. And Prabhupada said it's just the kindness of Krishna. It's only 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes to go. Okay. So Shamastri's question is the same question. Those who are not directly pujaris, they don't touch the deity. Can they? How do they? What is their relationship with the deity? They're not pujaris or anything like that. But no, it's still generally we find everything is especially in the temple, is centered around the deity. So Krishna means Krishna himself, his paraphernalia, his entourage, his name, form, qualities, pastimes, it's everything. So we go to the morning Mangalarti, and only we see one pujari, your father, is offering the Mangalarti for Radha Madhava. We're not offering arati, but we're the congregation, we're the paraphernalia, we're the associates of the Lord. Otherwise, so the Lord. So then, actually, when you see the Mangalarti, the pujari, you get 50% of the benefit. A person worshipping gets equal benefit as a pujari, simply by seeing it. So in that way, he also gets the benefit. And then if his service is going book distribution or something like that, then he can go out, but he's remembering the deity. He remembers, this is Gauranga's mission. He gave us the instruction. It's his movement, it's his mission. Specifically, Prabhupada is serving Gauranga by distributing his message. So we go out and distributing books, but we can always remember the deity. And then when we come back after our day's work, whatever we're doing, here we have a big ashram, and everybody's doing something. It may be sitting in an office. It's not really connected to Krishna. You're not touching the deity. You're touching some buttons or something. It doesn't seem like. But you're somehow or another, you're a little screw in the machine. We're a project here to expand Krishna consciousness. So everybody has a part to play. You're a teaching or you're a student. Whatever it is that makes up the whole ashram, which is attracting people to become Krishna consciousness. We may not have a big role, but every role is important. And it's all connected. We can all connect it to the deity, Krishna in his deity form. So like that, you see the devotees, they love it. They come back in the evening to the Sandhya Artik and they start dancing. They're feeling separation from them. They're not pujaris, but they saw Krishna in the morning. And then they love to come at Mangala Artik, Sandhya Artik, and they're all dancing. Everybody comes. There's no discrimination what kind of service they are doing. But they're all in ecstasy dancing before Krishna. So they can still keep that same Lord in their heart. So it doesn't matter what service you're doing, you can always remain connected to the deity, even if you aren't directly engaged in the deity seva. So in another sense, you are pujaris or extensions. Just like there's one aspect, Aratik. We're describing the process of Aratik. You offer to Krishna, and after that you offer to all the assembled devotees. So then the question is, you're offering Mahaprasadam, or are you worshipping them? Mahaprasad, that's the general conclusion. You're offering, because devotees don't go to the temple to be worshipped. But they will respect the Mahaprasad when they're offering it. But the pujari, from the pujari's angle of vision, he can actually worship those. Then it becomes a complete worship, because the pujari, he worships the spiritual master, he worships Krishna, then he worships all of Krishna's devotees. So Krishna is never alone, he's always with his, and it's all worshipable. So you can worship Krishna's paraphernalia and his devotees. It's non-different. The congregation are non-different. So you can even worship when you're offering artik, and then it becomes like a complete picture. You're worshipping Krishna along with his energies. It's not just Krishna alone. It's along with his energies. So like that we can see how actually everybody is connected to Krishna as his paraphernalia or his parishads, helping to expand his mission. Then actually, in one sense, you're all worshipable with Krishna.
And the pujari also, he's thinking it's not my deity, because he's pujari, he thinks it's your deity. It's their deity. Our job is to make the deity so attractive to give the devotees pleasure, because they love Krishna. Everyone loves Krishna more than me. And my service is to make Krishna very attractive. When the devotees come to the temple, they see him, they feel great happiness. So the pujari thinks it's not my deity, it's their deity. It's our job to make him look, to bring out the beauty of the deities, to bring the devotees pleasure. No difference. It's just another service. It's all the service is absolute, so it doesn't matter which service you do, as long as it's connected with the whole purpose is to become attracted to Krishna and give other people opportunity to also become attracted to Krishna. So the service is absolute on an equal level.
And another aspect, that the pujari in the temple also has a great responsibility. So also the attitude can be there that when he's offering things to Krishna, he's saying, please, Krishna, please accept this incense, whatever. Please accept this incense. It's actually, we're offering devotion. The idea is, please accept this devotion and offer it to the parampara, to Krishna. So the pujari, he's thinking, please kindly accept this devotion of all the devotees. They're all the devotees on the ashram or the congregation of the deity. They all have so much affection for you. I've been appointed to pujari, so on their behalf, I'm offering, kindly accept all their devotion, and please offer it through the parampara and to Krishna. Krishna, kindly accept this devotion of all the devotees in the ashram. So the pujari also can have a responsibility of, as the official priest, that he can actually, on behalf of all the devotees, he can offer their devotion to Krishna. So this is a move the pujari can cultivate also. Any comment? Question? Put it into practice, what we are learning. Try to see Krishna everywhere, always be conscious of his energy and how to relate to Krishna. Then sambandha we can have. Then it will make devotional service. The prayojana come more quickly. We have to put it into practice, what we hear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama.